If you've been looking for a good tutorial on how to make that signature style of melodies for producers like Boomin or Southside, I'm talking about that proper dark heavy trap shit kind of thing, bro, today's your lucky day because I'm gonna show you every single thing you need to know in order to make this style of melodies. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Yeah, so a lot of the times when you want to replicate this style of melodies, especially the ones that Southside in particular uses, you really want to have a very paced BPM. So for this melody in particular, I chose the 156 BPM, which is pretty fast as a tempo. And as first thing, I started with the synth pass from Xenology, which is called 106 strings. And as you can see, I started with a very simple and repetitive piano roll. The secret with these melodies is to have very repetitive stuff and with a lot of tension in order to create that dark vibe. Now on the mixer channel, I've actually applied this stock preset from Portal, which is called Vox Motion. And this is how it sounds with the Portal. And bear in mind that I actually didn't use 100% of the mixing effect. It is a very minor difference, but trust me bro, it really does make the difference. And basically what the Portal plugin does is to give those glitches in the background a little bit of crystallized effect kind of thing. Now after that, all I did was to render out the audio clip, which is this one right here. And then the next thing I did was to actually reversing the sample and pitching it up for semitones. And this is how it sounded like. As you can see, we straight away have that kind of Southside kind of vibe, you feel me? Now in order to make it more dark, all I did was to use an off time and then an EQ on the low end because I didn't really want to have the low end from the sample as I was gonna pull my own bass to the melody eventually, so I took it out and this is how it sounds now. You see what I'm saying? And pretty much when you get to the point where you have an audio clip, you basically want to start playing around either with the pitch, reversing it, putting some effects and stuff. And for example, for this audio clip here, which is the render of the audio clip that I've just showed you, the one with the alpha and the EQ, all I did was to reduce the length like this, so it is in stretch mode. This is not a cut, like this is a proper stretch. So if you actually want to stretch your melodies, you just need to press this tool over here. Otherwise, if you were to only do like this without actually pressing that, you will just be cutting it short or extending it, but that's not what you want to do. And then the next thing I did was to reverse it and pitching it up like 12 semitones, and this is what came out of it. And then finally the next thing I did was to actually put another Portal on it, and in this case I used the digital tape toys so that the melody now will sound like this. After that, I've actually rendered out the sample again because I've actually liked the way the Portal sounded on the audio clip just on the first 4 bars, so I got rid of them. I only kept the first 4 bars, and then I've also put a little bit of reverb with a lot of vintage verb through the chorus as well, and I've also reduced the mixing. And same thing with the phaser, and this is the way the sample actually sounds right now. And pretty much all of this comes from the first audio clip that I showed you at the beginning, so this is just a part of the melody. If I were to also add the original audio clip that I showed you at the beginning, this is the way it sounds. You see that the melody now has a lot of more body and more texture. Bro, this is what you want to go for. Basically the trick here is to start with some sort of synth, exporting it, and then playing around with the pitch, reversing, and I'll do all these kind of things. And also using Portal, bro. I really recommend you using Portal if you want to make these kind of melodies. Now at this point I wanted to have some sort of counter layer to the melody, and when I use again the same synth preset from Xenology, which is the 100 strings, but in this case I've actually used another piano roll, and this is the way it sounds. And once again, like I said before, very repetitive stuff, bro. You don't want to overcomplicate anything. And if you combine this with what we got so far, this is the way it sounds. As you can see, he's very in the background. He's not like the main element, but you can still tell that he's there. So, you know, also add these kind of things. Now at this point, since I already had a lot of elements in the background, I wanted to give some more bounce to the melody. I've actually used the bell effect, bro, which is so crazy. I'm gonna show you how. And this is the bell that I used. It has a very simple processing, it just have a reverb on it. But what is crazy about the bell is the piano, in which, as you can see, I use these kind of counter bouncy notes for it. But if you look at the velocity, it decreases, like as if it was a kind of delay effect. And this is the way it sounds. So fire, man, I'm not gonna lie. Now, once again, for the next sound, I used the same synth pads that I started the melody with, bro. For some reason, bro, I felt like this sound was just fire for the entire melody. Like, it sounded good and it sounded very versatile, so, you know, I just kept on using it. And in this case, I've actually used it to layer it with 2 notes, very low notes, and then we also have another one over here, and this is how it sounds. As you can see, it's very ambient, but at the same time gives a lot of body and low end to the melody. Now, an element that you really often want to have in these melodies is a piano, especially a grand piano, and for this case I use the keys on classic. And as you can see, very simple, one straightforward note, very low note over here like this. And actually here I used it midway through the melody, as in I actually didn't start with the piano, but I have it here at the beginning of the 3rd bar, and then again another shot on the 7th. You see what I'm saying? It really gives that extra layer of tension and dark vibe to the melody. And for this piano, I've actually cut the low end a little bit because I really cared about more like the mid-high frequencies. Now for the arrangement, it's nothing too crazy, honestly. I literally removed this audio clip from here and here. And then as you can see here, we don't have these 2 patterns, but I have them here again. But to be honest, bro, it is nothing too crazy. Like, it really depends. It really is up to giving a little bit of variation to the melody every now and then. But, you know, it's nothing too crazy. And this is the way the melody actually sounds. Bro, this melody is actually including my latest trap, Look Kid, Dark Drip. So if you want to check it out, man, there's the free version as well, and you're gonna find this melody in the free version as well. But if you want to get the full version as well, because you're a G, hey, go ahead. But if you wanna, you know, you decide, bro. You do what you want to do. Let's get into it. So we're gonna pick up a clap. And you know what, another thing I'm gonna do is actually lower down the pitch of this melody by 1 semitone. Yeah, bro, literally on the spot, bro. Alright, let's pick up an 808. And bro, I love spins, bro. And on top of that, a lot of the 808s that Southsides uses or Metro Boomin use, bro, there are spins actually. I think I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna lower down even further more the pitch of the melody. So we're gonna bring it down to D minor. Simple, bro, very simple stuff, man. You don't want to do anything too crazy. Even more serious. Let's pitch it down like this. Ooh, yeah, I forgot to do it, man. Always make sure that you put the 808 on cut itself. Yeah, bro, I'ma really keep it simple, man. I ain't trying to overdo anything. That's the key. Keep things simple. Let leave space for the artist to rap on. Alright, let's get into the perks, man. Ooh, straight away, man. Damn. I might even put it here. That's fire, man. Alright, let's do a little bit of arrangement. My broski, like always, thanks a lot for tuning in, bro. If you found any value out of the video, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, bro. Especially, and if you're not new to the channel but you haven't subscribed, yeah, make sure to do it right now, because bro, it is insane that almost 70% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed, bro, which is, bro, a shame. I'm not gonna let you listen to the full thing. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Stepuz, and I'm gonna see you on the next time. Yeah.